So welcome back to another video. Here we have a Gameboy Colour motherboard, and I've already had a look at this one. It's got a few issues with it. The power switch only works sometimes, so obviously that's a classic example of that it's dirty and needs a clean. And also the other problem we have is the sound is very quiet, which could be one of three things. Could be a dirty volume control, a capacitor faulty, or a faulty speaker. So what we'll do is we'll hook it up to the power and we'll just have a quick listen and see what it's doing. Right, we've got the desktop power supply supplying 3 volts to it. So let's turn it over, flip the switch. And you can see the LED sort of flickers a bit, so obviously you can see the switch isn't very good. And the sound, put it up here so you can hear it. That's on full volume. You can hardly hear it. The first thing I'll do is remove the power switch, or the cover of the power switch. These things are a pain in the backside because they're actually flipped over on the sides of the switch, so they can be quite difficult to get off. So what I try and do is I try and just get underneath here and then heat up that tab, and then just try and get the pressure off that solder piece there and try and lift it. But they are a pain. There you go, lifted the whole switch up instead. So that's a bit of a pain that the switch lifted, but I can just resolder those points. But this is what the inside of the switch looks like. You can see that it's very dirty. So all I do is I just get one of these little things, a bit of IPA, spray it on there, and just rub the crap out of it. And then this piece here is quite fragile, so what I do is I just gently rub that with isopropyl alcohol as well. Just to make those contacts shiny. So what I've done is just add a little bit of solder to the old contacts for the switch. Just sit it in place and tack down one corner. In the next corner. Right, now I've got that tacked down properly. Just grab the switch, sit them inside, anywhere in the middle, and then just bend that over. And that needs to sit over top of that. And what I normally do is just put a big blob of solder on each end of the metal plate. And then just push down on it. Press that in. That's our switch done. So that should work perfect now. Right, for the sound, the first thing I always do, I always just put some IPA down the side of the, just soak it, go back and forth a lot. And get the toothbrush and then just try and get in there. let's see if that made any difference. Right. Got the bench power supply on again. Turn it over. Switch is working better, but that sound is still very quiet. So what I might do next, I might just change out this capacitor. So what I do, it's a 100 UF capacitor for the sound, which is this one here. I always just change them out for an SMD. So much easier, no polarity, and little small space that they can sit in. So to remove this one, just heat up either side. And lift it gently. Okay. And I just put a fresh blob of solder each side. Get the SMD. Just take one end on first. And then I just push down on it to try and just get it flat. There we go. And just put a little bit more solder each side just to fasten it on there. Done. Now let's see if that made a difference. Right, got a bench power supply hooked up. It's definitely a little bit louder. Actually, that's way louder. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's good. So what I do now, what I always do is just put a bit of IPA on a cotton bud. Just always clean these button areas, because you just never know. Put a gun just there too. And always give the speaker a bit of a clean as well. Done. Right, now we're onto the screen. So this is the screen I have for it. Now the polarizer was already wrecked on that one. It was very similar to what this one looks like here. How it's got the sun fade in it. So I've already pulled the polarizer off it and cleaned it up. I'm not going to bore you with that because there's plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to have a look at that. But that's ready now for a polarizing filter to go onto it. So I'll show you how that's done. Just got to make sure this is really, really clean. No specks or anything on it. So I get these little polarizing filters from AliExpress and they're already cut to the right size. And they're the perfect ones for the Gameboy Colour. I'll try and leave a link in the description actually as to where I get them from. What I do is always just make sure there's no fluff, no hair, no nothing on it. I can see in the light it looks pretty good. And what I do is just peel off the backing just to get it started. And just push down on it. And this one's got bubbles in it. Of course it is. One bubble. Sometimes you just can't help it. The good thing about these Gameboy Colour screens, they're really hearty. You can actually, I wouldn't say be rough with them, but you don't need to be as gentle with them as other screens. That's not going to affect it too much. Short sort of thing around the edges. keep rubbing it, and I was actually managed to get it out. So now we'll just take off this top protective layer. That should give us a better view of what this is going to look like. This is a pain because it's quite hard to get off. Finally got it. Let's get my really well. Right, let's put it on the motherboard and see how it goes. Right, got the benchtop power supply on, got the motherboard connected. So the screen connects to the motherboard. Let's see if this polarizer works. Perfect. Colour's good too. Right, all we need to do now is clean up the shell and put it together. Right, the shell that came with this one is an original blue, aqua blue, green shell, which is in fairly good condition. It's got a couple little scratches on the screen on the outside, but for an original shell and for the age, it's actually done all right. So I've already cleaned everything else here. I'm just making sure there's no dust in the screen before I drop the screen in. And then hook up this to the motherboard. Pop little tabs down. And then position the speaker in place. Pop this down now. Right, and the way you know it's in place is these little tabs come through here, and then we've only got 1, 2, 3 screws to pop in that hold that motherboard in place. Right, now that that's done, power switch is in, little lens for the IR sensors are in, don't forget that. Everything else looks good. We can put the back on. Just a matter of lining them up with the springs there, and then we can drop in the 6 tri-wing screws. I'll pop those in and do them up. Now that that's all buttoned up, turn it over and we'll give the screen a bit of a clean. I just like to use glass cleaner. It's actually really good for the lenses and for the plastic itself as well. Just give that a bit of a tidy up. I mean, we've got those 2 scratches on the front, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. It's quite nice just to keep the original, if you can, keep the original case and the original screen. Right, let's pop a couple of batteries in and see how we go. Batteries are in, clean, let's give it a test. Way better. Let's test it with a game. Right, game's in, let's give it a go. Right, let's have a look. Seem to be working fine. Seems to be loading all right. As you can see, it's working fine. That's another one we saved. Yeah, it's quite good condition, this one too, apart from a couple little scratches on the screen. But hopefully what I showed you helped. If you're stuck with one of these, yeah, if you want any more information, just say something in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you like my videos. I'm going to be doing lots more.